Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest day 38. Let's go! I feel like we're flying at the moment at a huge pace. I mean, even though I'm still getting stuck. Oh, I think I forgot to say, welcome back to our blind playthrough of Blueprints. Yeah, I feel like we're just discovering enormous things here. We're getting the huge reveals. You know what? I just saw a little golden thing here and I thought, was there a coin on the ground? Okay, no. I guess while I'm here, I'll pick up my large allowance of 12 coins. Thank you very much. Yeah, guys, huge things the last few episodes, really. The last couple of episodes. Absolutely enormous. So I suppose... again, there's still... Despite all of this, there's still so many things to do. And the thing is, I've still got what seem to me to be mysteries from the beginning of the game or from very early episodes in the game still remain for me. You know, what's the deal with the lavatory? Like stuff like that. So I'm still really excited about like figuring things like that out. And yet we're at the point where we've like got permanent access to sort of the underground now in at least many ways. I've opened up 3 of the permanent kind of ground additions here. We've managed to open up the antechamber north area, although I haven't actually stepped through the door. I did have the capacity to do so. All of that. Anyway, so with all of that in mind, there is still like a huge amount of like just really diverse goals that I have that range from, get back into the antechamber and get in door 46. Big goals. We'll be very interested to see, obviously, what happens when I actually do that. And I have a whole range of like smaller goals, I guess, medium goals. I've still got so many safes to crack and so many letters to get. I still got any of the mysteries around time to solve, which is obviously a huge part of the game. Like it just obviously is. All right. So, but what I'm going to do at the outset of today is, unlike yesterday, come straight out, get our West room going. So these are both compelling in their own ways. I still don't know how to alter the radiation, because my theory about this, that it was the machine in the laboratory, has kind of gone out the window. Possibly, unless it's actually another combination of things that you can put in that machine, because we've only used 2 of the levers there. So maybe that is actually worth playing around with now that I think about it, because I immediately, as soon as I got that machine in the lab going, I put the correct I used the levers in the correct way. I didn't experiment with it. Maybe if you use different levers, maybe you create radiation. But of course, maybe it's something else entirely. Anyway, that might actually be worth trying. What I think I'm going to do though is trading post, because this is only my second time to get trading post here, and I'm still curious to play around with what I might be able to get here a little bit more. And also, look at that. There's our dynamite again waiting for us. So it's good to confirm that it still is here. Okay, there's a dig spot. It still is here whenever we open up this room. I was just noticing that there was like hatching, like kind of grid hatching on the wall here, but then I'm like, okay, it's kind of everywhere. It's just part of the design. Our Moragi box is solved and missing. But yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it for now until we have some things to trade. Okay, cool. Still really wondering what I'm going to be doing with that dynamite at some point, given that I can't pick it up. too dangerous to pick up. So maybe we have to have something that we add it to. Like we already have to have some kind of contraption, you know? All right. So I've had a little bit of time to have a think about that Morajai box that has been confounding me down in the basement. I think I know how to solve it. Okay. I guess let's go straight there because I might as well see if I can get it. And I mean, what is going to be in there is of great interest to me because it's not just any Morajai box. It's a Morajai box that's in the freaking, you know, one of the inner sanctum doors. If it is simply just another allowance, I will be thrilled. I'll be very happy with that, honestly. Totes great. Every time my allowance goes up, I'm thrilled. Any permanent changes I get in this game, I'm thrilled because they make each and every day easier. Like even one extra coin of our allowance might make the difference between being able to do something and not being able to do something, you know? So it's great. If that's what it is, I'm happy with it. And to be honest, like I think the bigger thrill is actually just solving the puzzle for me a bit. But maybe it's something else, you know? I mean, one thing that occurs to me, is this going in the right... Yes, it is, yeah. Yeah, one thing that occurs to me is what if our ladyship's diary key is in there? Like, what if she keeps her diary key in a very, very, very remote, difficult to access place? What if maybe after her death somebody else put it in there? I don't know, you know, as some kind of tribute or, you know, I don't know, hiding it, a sneaky hiding place for Simon to discover. It could even be that because of course all of the puzzles here are very, very purposely and well thought out. While I'm down here, I should also, just to be double checking on a couple of things every now and again, but also keeping, because of the trouble I had yesterday, I should also be taking note of where I'm actually, where I am losing steps. Yeah, because I was a bit excited, you know, understandably, as I'm sure everyone gets. I was very excited about my permanent access down here. And I kind of just forgot about the steps. It was, oh, hello, we're being welcomed straight in. Yeah, I was just traipsing all over the place, skipping through the halls and really not at all noticing my steps. So obviously coming in here is a different room and we lose a step for that. Oven Nevare. I don't know. I'll get there. All right, so obviously, let's get this open just in case. Just in case we have the option. Oh, it feels so good every single time. I feel almost as excited every single time I do this as I did the first time. Just because the way that happens, the music that plays is really just so lovely. But yeah, obviously one of the things that is now a huge general goal for me is just getting and interpreting and recording all of the information that I can about all of the different realms. So we have quite a lot of information about them at this stage. So I feel like if I could get into any of these other inner sanctum doors, I feel like I could actually have a good go at interpreting, at guessing, you know, what some of these things are. I think I have all the colors set. I think I have maybe all of the names. Not that the names matters for this per se. But I definitely don't have everything, especially for like a couple of the things that haven't come up very much. Like I think maybe the names of these two, the pink and the green area, are Nuance and Vera. I actually think that the diamond-shaped realm is Vera, and it's green, and it's associated with turtles because of the videotape that we saw in the bunk room. And I think pink is the one that's sort of shaped like the Nook bird's eye view, and it's kind of an industrial place because we found a few. So I think I kind of know the names and the colors, and I think I know little bits and pieces about them. All right, okay, now let's see how we go with this. I haven't written down like complete instructions for myself, but I think I know the point that I need to get to, where I did get to yesterday, so I know it's doable, and I think I know exactly what I need to do from there. And obviously, like I wish that I could have just thought just enough to figure this out, but it just wasn't happening on the spot. I was a bit overwhelmed, but I think I've got it now. I think I know what to do. So I want to get to the point where I have the 2 purples up here again. All right. So if I get this here, now I've got my blank space up here. Oh, you know what? No, that's not quite it. I think actually that. And then getting the green down there. Yep. All right, I think that's the next stage. Got a purple up there. This is really like momentous music for me, just kind of fussing about with this puzzle here. It's quite dramatic for something that I'm not going to be able to do immediately. But yeah, I'll take it. Thanks, music. No pressure. All right. So from this, if I get that there, and then I actually take the purple down, so we're swapping it with the blank. I think that's actually right. Purple down. Yep. And then we get that over there, and then I click the green to swap it with the yellow. Yep, all right, that's great. Getting the yellow out of the top there is, I think, an important first achievement. From here, we can move the green into the corner. Now if we do that, we can click the green to swap with the purple. Beautiful. We've got a purple corner. From here I've got my, if I get the blank in the middle here, if I've got the blank in the middle, ultimately where I want to get is I want to get another purple up here. The only way I can do that is by getting the green up there. So doing that and that. Oh, no, it won't. Doing that and that will get both of our yellows out of the way, and we'll get two purples up here. Interesting. That's actually more than I planned, but having the purples at the top is not bad because we can always get them down. That's always a possibility. Alright, so I could get this one. At the moment, I can do 3 purple corners. That's fantastic. But the question is how to do this last corner. So the way I think that I am going to achieve that, what I think I think the condition that I need to get to is to have a purple up here in the middle, ready to go, ready to drop. But I think I need the blank down here. The only way that I can do that is to swap it with... is to swap it with the green, isn't it? It is. That's the only way I can get the blank down here. But I can't move the green from here, so actually... Yeah, if I do that, but that gets the... now the green is stuck up there. But is this fine? Actually, do I need the green? Because I can drop that down there. That's fine to go. Actually, I think this is fine. I think as long as I can get these two... No, it's not fine up here. That's the problem. That's the problem. I would need these two purples to be in the corners already. So I can now get these two corners because all I need to do is drop these two down, like to, you know, to swap them with the yellow essentially. And then I could shift this into the center and the purples will be on the edge. So that's perfect, but then I would lose this purple here. But hang on, let me just continue with this thought. If I did put the purples here, could I then swap? Yeah. I think that would work because then, yeah, all right. I'm getting a bit excited. Okay, I think this will work out. Purple. All right, now I've got my useless colors in the middle. That's good. Now let's say that I were to swap this green with this purple. Now I have my purple corners here. And let's say that I were to, I need my blank to remain down here, and I need my purple to remain down here, but I can swap the green with the purple, and then click my blank, and we're good. Oh my God, finally. This thing has plagued me. It's an allowance token. I did anticipate that this was an allowance token. Allowance token is wonderful. We're now starting with 14 coins at the beginning of each day. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But honestly, just the joy of having this completed is enough, because to be honest, I saw myself as actually quite decent at the Morajai boxes, and then this one completely challenged me. It's been like hard for me to figure that one out, honestly. So it's so satisfying to have it done. I can walk out of here and quite possibly never walk back in again. Let's see. Oh God, that feels so good. I don't know if anything else in the game is going to feel as good as that. No, it will. And it has. But, nom. I'm just eating it up. I'm just eating up this long-awaited victory. Is this the music that we had before? It feels different. Is the game that excited that I also just solved the Morajai box and got the allowance token? I felt like I hadn't quite heard that bit before, but yeah, maybe I have. I just hadn't taken notice of it in that way. All right, okay. This is great. So we can go on with our day, and I think, at least one of my goals from now on is going to be getting more keys to open up more of those boxes. And it's great that it just seems like you can do that. It's great that it just seems like you can just come on down here and eventually open up all of the boxes with different keys. And I know I have a couple of keys right now, but obviously I think that the smarter use for them is to use them to get more keys in the mansion itself. I'm just going to open that for fun and satisfaction, but of course our elevator is not there. Oh, yes. So good. Oh man. I'm happy about closing this particular chapter I have a whole page of notes about that Morajai box. I feel so good. I am so pleased. I can imagine that for a lot of people, they just got that straight away, you know. And for me, that was like plaguing me. But at least, yeah, I can sleep soundly now. I can sleep soundly knowing that's done. And I've got my permanent 2 coins now. All right. Okay. There are so many other mysteries to solve, but let's get on with the day in the mansion itself and see what awaits us. At least one thing that awaits me today that I'm very, very interested in is the library, to get that Blackbridge book, because I think it's obviously going to help us with the grotto. And it sounds like, quite frankly, there's some spicy tea in that book. It sounds like there's a tragedy, like a legend that involves a lot of tragedy that we're going to need to know about. So I'm really curious about what it is. And I'm sorry that a new clue is kind of being sacrificed for all of these other books I'm really interested in. But it will be the next one. It will be the next one, I promise. Okay, let's do Spare Green Rune. That looks like a gem to me. Wonderful. My first gem. Okay. Again, I would like to be able to try and get conservatory if I can, because I think that's always going to be useful. Always, always, always. So with that in mind, I could get the key card right now and then go back down to the elevator and come up. Like, I am curious to actually try starting the day from the foundation. But I'm also concerned about having the problem with steps that I did yesterday. And I've already, I'm already down to 52. Like, I've already been down there walking around. So let's go hallway just to open up some possibilities. And, I'm going to use a key just to see what we get here. Wonderful. Oh, thank God, thank God, thank God. So having some redraw possibilities now makes me feel a lot more comfortable about trying this. Okay. Oh, there's our upgraded closet. It's not adjoining a bedroom, well, if I put it here, which I'm not going to. So, yeah, let's see if we can make that happen and get our extra items. But I'm going to redraw for now. I'm even thinking of redrawing one more time. I don't know if this is nuts, but I'm going to do it. All right. It was a risk. In that case, so we just had, with the observatory yesterday, we just had our 20 stars and we got the Florealis thing, and there doesn't seem to be anything beyond that, at least in the book. So I'm kind of curious about what goes on. Do we just get now maybe Florealis every single day, or maybe we get multiple constellations, or maybe there are other constellations beyond what's written in the book? So that's of interest to me, but not really wanting to use my first gem right now. I'm going to go bedroom. And while I'm here, I'm going to draft this. Yeah, we've got three places going up, which is nice. Ooh, boiler room immediately. As interesting as that would be, I don't know. It's not a priority right now. But getting 3 gems is very good. I mean, it will mean that we're essentially sort of losing an exit, but whatever. I want these 3 gems. We need to start the day with gems if we can. Great. Nothing there today. Mysterious. A box with a false statement contains the gems. Could be true, could be false. A statement on the black box is true. Oh, sorry, the statement on the black box is true. Could be true, could be false. But just thinking... just shifting in my chair, sorry. making old lady noises. The black box is not empty. A box with a false statement contains the gems. The statement on the black box is true. Okay, all right. So we're going to have to do a bit of what-ifing here, I think, just to sort out what's possible here. The black box is not empty. That would mean it has the gems. If this is true, the statement on the black box is... I actually think, no, let's start with these two. I think that makes more sense. The statement on the black box is true. Let's say this is true. If this is true, then this also must be true. A box with a false statement contains the gems. And that would, by default, if this is true and this is true, then that would mean this is the false statement by default, and that would mean the false statement contains the gems. The gems are in here. So that is one possibility that works out. If this is a false statement, though, the black box is not empty, then actually this is impossible, because the gems would have to be in here, but for this to be a false statement, the gems would actually have to be in here. So that can't be true, that combination of things. So the statement on the black box is true. If this is actually false, then this is also false. A box with a false statement contains the gems. And that would mean this is false and this is false, meaning that a box with the true statement contains the gems, meaning that this is true, but it says the black box is not empty, which would mean the black box has gems. So actually that's... also impossible. Oh. I need to think through this again. I've come to two possibilities that don't work out. Yeah, if this is true, then it means the gems are in here. All right, hang on. Let me think through this again to see if I must have made a mistake. Maybe you know what it is. The statement on the black box is true. If this is true, then this is also true by default. It just feels like these two have to be aligned. If this is true, a box with a false statement contains the gems. This is true. These two boxes are the true boxes. This is the false statement by default then, and therefore this is true, so it must contain the gems. But it's a true box. Hang on. The statement on the black box is true. This is true. A box with the false statement contains the gems. This is true. All right, hang on. Sorry. This is the false box, therefore it contains the gems, but the statement is false. The black box is not empty, meaning it contains the gems, meaning it's false. Okay, I think that's the mistake I made. So I think that the gems are in this box because this box is a false box. The black box is empty because the gems are in here. Oh, nearly made a big mistake with that one. Phew. Okay. All right. So I've got my gems. That's wonderful. Let's see where we can go north from the entrance hall then. That's absolutely not ideal. That's not ideal. So let's do billiard room. Let's see what we get. Let's math the day away. All right. 8, 11 plus 20, 31 plus 6, 37 minus 17, 20. Okay. 7 plus 8, 15 minus 14, 1 times 12, 12. Ooh, 2 plus 1, 3 times 4. This is not one of those ones where the order matters, is it? 3. So 3 times 4, 12 times 3, 36 divided by 9, 4. Oh, great. Okay, good. All right. 2 keys. Doing all right. And so here, heading north. All right. Something with a few entrances would be nice, given the position that we're in. But if nothing else, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, actually. I'm happy with chapel. We can lose a coin. Oh man, I'm excited about figuring out like what's going on here. Like I feel like there must be something that we can do to move this, and I'm excited about whatever that thing is going to be and what the reveal is going to be. So let's head east from here. Okay. Ooh, so workshop is working out really well for us, so I think this might be good. Then again, commissary. These are kind of all good options. Like both of these will go straight forward. But then again, commissary might give us items that we need out of the bat. I think commissary is probably more likely to keep coming up than workshop is, though. Actually, I'm going to go workshop. Ooh, yeah, see? That's great. Like, we always get a tool from here, which is useful. I've got another letter. I've got quite a collection of letters now. I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. With a lot of repeats. I've had 3 E's, 2 C's, 2 I's. K-A-W. So maybe that's enough. Maybe what I need to do is actually, instead of just coming in here and collecting these letters, it might mean it's time for me to just, do what I've done throughout this game. Sit down with my notebook and actually have a little puzzle away at this. Have a little think. All right. So we managed to have a good play with... No, I can't make anything right now, obviously. We managed to have a good play yesterday with the jackhammer and, try a few different things like that, like try it with the treasure spot and things like that. But I think there's a lot more to do with the power hammer. Ooh, power hammer! So if I can, I think I'd like to try and make power hammer again. And if nothing else, the one thing I know I think I want to try with that, the one thing I'm fairly certain I want to try is actually the weight room, which is hella risky to even try drafting. But yeah, if we can get it towards the end of the day or something, let's try that. Okay, well maybe den. Yeah, den's perfect. We get a gem. If there's a trunk here, no there's not, but we get a gem. Ooh, we're coming. We're not too far off the 1:30 time. I still don't know what to do with it, but I know that I would like to be in the clock tower at that time if I can. Okay. It would be great. No, definitely not furnace here. That would be useless. As far as I know, that would be useless. I mean, we could put closet here. I I don't think there's any point to putting corridor here because all it would mean is that I feel it would be a waste of the corridor. So actually, yeah, let's do the closet. I mean, it's still, I think this is the first time I've ever had shovel from the closet and a die, which is great. Yeah. Well, that's actually really, really good. So we've got shovel now, which obviously useful for many, many things. I've got a die so that I can try and get conservatory in the corner here. Maybe for the time being, let's just head up a little bit. Ooh, I mean, this would be great after just getting the shovel. That would be the most ideal thing. Let's do it. I don't think I need to preserve any of these because I feel like I'm most likely, if I get the chance, I'm not gonna do the jackhammer anyway. So, trunk. Yes, God, it's so yes, more redraws. It's so satisfying getting trunks when you have the sledgehammer. That is a nice feeling. That is a nice feeling every single time, and it feels like just the sound and the movement when you smash open a trunk is really, really satisfying. Cool. Well, we've got a nice amount of keys, a nice amount of gems. Let's try going up. Oh, greenhouse. We've hardly had it. We've hardly had it. I'm gonna do it because I think, yeah. This is a wall. This is the other wall that I want to smash down. So, brilliant. That makes me even more fired up. To get the two flowers. Okay, yeah, even more fired up to get the thing, to get the what am I saying? What's the word? To get the power hammer. Power hammer. I love power hammer so much, I don't want to forget about it. Oh, so excellent. So excellent. And we also now know, we learned in the last episode that my theory was correct, that it's an interesting little spot, isn't it? Just a little... I see. It's the area between sort of the house wall and the actual greenhouse parts. Alright, I've still never actually used broken lever on this. Might be interesting to try. Great. Well, brilliant. I could also just step back in here. No? Yeah, there we go. We can get our other gem from the watering can. There's no way of can I just hold the watering can under this? Shouldn't that work? It does not. It does not. Of course it doesn't. Very nice though. Just calming rain sounds. Alright, I really want that power hammer, so I really want that broken lever. We're probably getting close to 130-ish, so... I don't want to dead end this spot, so I can keep easily going north, ideally. Then again, we've got chapel. Might work out from chapel, so maybe... maybe getting storeroom out of the way here isn't terrible. Yeah. Let's commit to that. Many more gems, and now, thank God, we're once again in a spot where if trophy room were to... I'm just throwing it out to the universe. If trophy room wanted to show up, that would be great. Here we go. Is the music gonna stop like it? Like it's not, the music is not stopping. I wonder if I was totally wrong about the music stopping before. I did wonder that. Maybe I was totally wrong about the music stopping before. You know what? Here's my other theory about that. On the day when I experienced that, and I felt that the music stopped about 1:30, and I could be completely wrong, but another explanation could be that on that day I had already drafted several, what I'm thinking of as sacred rooms. So that could even be part of it. That maybe I had a house that was set up for some kind of sacred happening. You know? Maybe there's something I can do here only during the sacred hour. Or maybe you actually need to draft the clock tower to even have the sacred hour. Yeah, there's the one that we've seen down in the basement. That's the one that's out the east side. All right, well, all of these are going to send me in the same direction. So I'm thinking let's do observatory and let's get whatever benefits we get from this. What if we get Florealis now? Well, which we're not anyway, but we've already drafted green room. Would we get new flowers from it? Anyway, that's very nice. Steps, the capacity to get even more steps, and 5 freaking gems. Thank you. Thank you. You are worth your weight in gems of observatory. Okay, yeah, we're making an interesting shape here. Okay, let's try going out here. I do want to go back and try for conservatory, but I suppose let's... Well, I actually think going north from here is important because we're... At the moment, we've only got kind of exits out the west side, really, and I want to head back east. So it might be the perfect time for commissary. Yes, yes, yes. Board mystery. Magnifying glass, of course. We're doing all right for gems and keys for the time being, honestly. So I might just keep in mind that I can come back here and buy them if need be. All right, let's keep going north. Aha, we've got, oh, this is so nice. We've got the green room kind of menu here. I love it. It's very pretty. All right. Well, I think maybe let's risk dark room and just you know, let it be what it is. Because then, then again, no, we've got a shovel. I'm gonna go kennel because we've got a shovel, and if we were to get, I don't know, it might be useful to get the ability to open things. Hey doggos, I'm so sure there's a puzzle to figure out here, but I don't have it just yet. I don't have it just yet. I love the sound of them drinking. So cute. Yes. I like knowing that you have water I can't see there. Key. Very nice. Thank you. I'm just trying to make sure I am looking around and noticing. What about even this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 windows there. I don't know. Maybe it means something. Maybe it means something. Maybe it means nothing. Oh, dining room. Basically perfect. Yeah, because we're not too far off rank 8. Very nice. Thank you. We're still in the sacred hour, but just for a little bit. Sometimes I just like to keep checking stuff. Nice. Okay. Well, I guess I'm still very interested in heading east. Let's go out here. Well, we do have a good amount of gems. This might be a really good spot for passageway, right in the freaking middle, honestly. Great. Well, let's head south, because if we were to dead end here, that would not be terrible. Cool. I definitely am not comfortable stepwise right now. That would be a total waste of secret passage. So no thank you. It's gonna have to be gymnasium. It's not the best use of gymnasium, but I can't do. Would have been good to do shelter, honestly, I suppose, if we wanted to have this weight room thing. And maybe in fact, having shelter, making sure that we have shelter before we try the weight room thing maybe that'll work out better in the end. All right, we can only go this way. Oh, could be absolutely a perfect day for getting vault. It would. I still don't know what to do with cloister, but it is a sacred room. Vault would obviously get me a lot of money. Very, very nice. It might also mean that we get a vault key at some point we can use. Cloister would mean I get another sacred room. But it would also mean that from my watering can I get a gem back from this. So it would actually effectively only have a 2 gem cost, which would still leave me with 8 gems. I've bought everything I want to buy in the bookstore, so that's good. Buying something from showroom, if it were to come up, could even be a game changer for the rest of the day. So it's a little, yeah. It's just a choice, really. I think I'm gonna go vault. I guess let's take all our money. Even if I'm not going to use it, it's very satisfying to pick all of that up. Right, okay. No extra little thingies. Cool. We've got that there in case we get a vault key. That's nice. But yeah, steps are starting to become a little bit of an issue. You're giving me all the red rooms, huh? I don't really want. I'm gonna go dark room here, even though it only sends us forward because the impact here is not permanent. We gotta use a key. All right. Well, who freaking knows what's happening here? I'm gonna choose the middle one. Oh, that's very lovely. We get our watering can gem. We get a gem here, and we got a nice little view. No dig spots. Little cup of water, possibly because it's just been left out in the rain. Just making sure I'm sort of having a fresh look around every now and again to see if I notice anything new. Okay. Well, that's... Yeah, we've got a nice little... We've amassed a nice little green mansion today. 20 steps. Yeah, I gotta... And kitchen would be handy, I suppose. But we will have dining room coming up, hopefully. Alright. Secret passage. I don't know that choosing a color would be the most useful thing for me here. So I'm actually gonna go billiard room, given that we've got a couple of other ways to get west. Thank you. Orange 5 steps. That is great. I love oranges. I ate an orange just before. Like, actually in real life, I ate an orange just before. 12 minus 4, 8 times 2, 16 divided by 16, but 1. That's 3 minus, oh no, hang on, 3 times, yeah, that's how it is, isn't it? It's 3 times 3, 9, minus 3, 6. No. Whoops. Hang on, what was this one again? This was, what did I do? This was 12 minus 4, 8 times 2, 16, right. Divided by 16, 1. Okay. 3, pink is multiply. Oh, 7. What on earth was I doing? I just used the same number. 3 multiplied by 7, 21, minus 3, 20, 19, 18. Okay, 8 times 2, 16, minus 13, 3. Hey! Brilliant, because that's another very, very decent shot, if we can get that, another decent shot at getting into the antechamber. Okay, still, I'm just thinking about, like, yeah, I guess I'm gonna go on here, but, you know, like, it's a fair, like, if we were gonna go draft from here or here, it's a fair way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to get back to bedroom, and about the same to get down here. So yeah, really need to fix this step issue. All right, let's keep going. Maybe we can get kitchen or something. It's not a good place for our special key. So regular key it is, and that's my last key. Oh, we lose the gem cost for green rooms now, so actually that's... Maybe Cloister is good. Maybe Cloister is good. Nook would just send us to nowhere, although we'd pick up keys. Cloister... I don't know if it's true, I just feel like Cloister often has locked rooms, but... I'm gonna do it, and I suppose it is what it is, you know, it is what it is. Oh, security door, okay. 2 security doors! It does often have locked rooms. Man. I think I'm right about this, it's so often locked in here. How can I get in here? How can I get in here? I don't know. Alright. So until I get my security pass, nothing is happening here. Let's head back to... It's such a shame, because if I could just open one door, then I could get my I could get my treats in the dining room. Oh well. It is what it is. It is what it is. Zen. We're going to be zen about it. Let's see what we can make happen from here. Absolutely nothing that will send me north. That totally sucks. That means that we can't get we can't get up to Foundation unless we go directly to Foundation, or through the Cloister, and both of those possibilities require the security pass. Which means that getting our cloakroom is a matter of real importance. So with that in mind, I'm going to do patio just to create some more possibilities. Oh man, unless I redraw. Actually, we've got 3 redraws. Maybe this is the moment for a redraw. Oh, that's really risky though, because I don't want to lose any of these. But I'm very interested to keep trying Lost and Found though. I really am, because I feel like the game implied that there might be like lost, like his, you know, items from, like lore items from history that turn up in here, not just tools and whatnot. But for the time being, I think I'm going to do aquarium. I think aquarium is just going to give us the exits that we need. Oh, I'll take it. Thank you. Oh, the dogs. The kennels just, the dogs, they, my lovely pups, they just unlocked all the doors here. Though actually, that might not have been, preferable, because if they were locked, I could use my secret room, my secret garden key. Okay. Still. If we do corridor, then we're definitely getting into rank 8, and I can get my meal in the dining room, so actually I might do that. Cool. And we'll try going around, like, you know, the back of the foundation if we can. Alright, this will definitely, whatever it is, it'll definitely get us what we need. I guess I'm gonna do West Wing. I'm gonna do West Wing Hall, I suppose, just to try and get into because if we can get into foundation, I think I have to step in to get the... Yep, there we go. So maybe from here, let's turn back and go to dining room, just to sort of, minimize the steps we're using to go and pick up our meal. Whatever this is, we really need it though. Okay, this is the one that goes with our boiler room. You know what? I need it right now. I need it. Thank you. Country stew pie, delicious. All right, that's a big help. Love it. Thank you. Cool. All right, this bodes well. I wonder if I could get if this door could possibly be locked. Oh, but then again, I think that the secret room, I think we found out yesterday, that the secret room isn't going to work in the corner, because I think the corner doesn't provide the exits it needs. Yeah, it doesn't work here. All right, well, that's fine. We understand. This definitely doesn't do anything, does it? And there's nothing else to, no other little secrets here to notice, are there? Okay. All right, in that case, we need to create some key possibilities. So I think even if we get garage, we got to do it. Or like locksmith or something. Like if I do secret passage, I could go for, yeah, this could be a good spot for secret passage. I think let's do that, because we can then try and get a shop room, and it will either be kitchen. Yep. I think this is pretty much always the one that I want from secret passage. Yeah. Oh. I mean, I am tempted by showroom. I've got a lot of money. I have a lot of money. We could get a lot more steps with kitchen. Yeah. These two are dead ends. This one is not a dead end. Like, I'm thinking about how much I want things like the master key, you know? Locksmith, of course, would be super useful. But I'm also remembering that we can also buy keys from the commissary. Or at least, we can buy something. I think maybe... I think I might go... Possibly, despite myself, I might go showroom. Because there might be even multiple things in here that are useful. Master key is 80. It's obviously such a... Oh, it's going to be such a good key. I can't quite afford it. I love the chronograph, but I don't know what to do with it yet. Ornate compass. While drafting, you may rotate the first 3 floor plans you draw. None of this has solved my problem. But I might even just hang out for the possibility of getting the master key. All right. I don't regret my choice. Look at that. We need these. We need to find those parts of the holly for the grotto. Oh, you know what? I was totally wrong. We get 8 gems. I remembered this the wrong way around. It requires 5 gems, but we get 8 gems. Okay, all good. I'm happy having more gems anyway. It's made me more vigilant about gem usage. But absolutely, this is the time for trophy room. We've got to do it. We've got to finally do this room. What on earth just happened? Why did I just see flames? Huh. Oh my god, there's our 8 gems. So good. So excellent. Is this where my actual trophies go? Oh. Maybe I'm only getting this room because I have a trophy now. That makes sense. That makes sense. Ah ha ha. This is a room for my trophies. Okay. Ah, video camera. That's surely something that we can use somehow. A cheetah. A cheetah. Because we can cheat. Interesting. Let me look at my trophy again. Hehe. Every slot in the house. Obviously, animal print everywhere. I've got to figure these things out. Let's do a little full circle here. What could that compass relate to? Is it 1:30? Like, is it more like a clock, like clock hands? I mean, it's not a clock. It doesn't look like a clock, and the hands don't look like clock hands. But maybe it does seem to be in the Orient. I don't know. Actually, it looks more like 2:30 if it's going to be anything, doesn't it? But then, what would that mean? Like, if you spin this around at 1:30 or 2:30, I don't know. Oh, horrible, horrible. Losing my... Hey, so what are these up here? Trophies I cannot look at. Okay, let's look at this. Oh, this is... Oh! This is all of the actual trophies. I didn't think that they were going to tell you. So I've got the first one. Maybe the easiest one. Explorer's Trophy. Complete the Mount Holly directory. Huh. Oh, super cool. Well, I reckon I feel like I can definitely do that. Bullseye Trophy. Solve 40 dartboard puzzles. I mean, if I keep playing long enough, that's going to happen anyway. 40 parlor games. Yes, I can do that. Create all 8 workshop contraptions. Oh, so there are 8 of them. I've probably on my way to doing that. Trophy of drafting. Win the drafting strategy sweepstakes. Oh, of course. Yeah. Okay. Yep, we read about that in one of the Architectural Digest books. Trophy of sigils. Unlock all 8 realm sigils. So all of the doors, I assume they mean. That must be possible then. But I wonder if it's possible over multiple days. Solve the puzzle in room 8 on rank 8. What is room 8? I don't even know what it is. What is room 8? It's a blue room. I don't even know what room 7 is. Oh, so interesting. It could be something that I could get from the drafting studio, maybe? All right. Inheritance trophy, reach room 46. Maybe I could have already done that by now. I don't know. Dare bird trophy, reach room 46 in dare mode. Huh. Oh, so there may be different modes to the game. Interesting. Cursed trophy, reach room 46 in curse mode. So maybe once you finish the game, you can come back and do different modes. Okay. Day 1 trophy, reach room 46 in 1 day. All right, that's definitely not happening. That's a replay thing, but I of course had already thought about trying to do that. Yeah, that would be great. That is absolutely something I'm going to try to do. Trophy of speed, reach room 46 in under an hour. That's going to be hard for anyone to achieve with randomness as part of it all. Trophy of wealth, buy out the entire showroom. Honestly, I can see how this is doable. Yeah, well, like with a combination of money, factors where you can get money, vault, treasure chest, maybe even having money over a couple of days with the freezer. That seems entirely possible to me. Diploma trophy, ace the classroom final exam. Ooh, we get a final exam after maybe the 8 classrooms. Trophy of trophies, complete the trophy case. Hoo-hoo. I'm going to do all of these, I swear. I haven't in the past really been someone who cares about trophies in games very much, but in this game, absolutely. In this game, that is completely a fun premise. Okay, I have a real choice here. I do actually have a possible idea for study for this safe, maybe. But it's not a strong idea. But of course I really want library because I have a book waiting for me. I think I have to go library. I'm sorry, study. This is more of a guaranteed win. We'll keep trying to draft the study though. Oh, look at this. Oh my god, that's creepy. That is creepy as hell. I love it. What is this? I mean, it feels like there's a tragedy on this bridge coming. Huh. This is why I always take any opportunity I can to get magnifying glass. Oh my god, this looks so good. The legend of Blackbridge is one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm, for versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colourful, more verbose, and as one might expect, increasingly horrifying. Yes. Yes. Tell me the ghost stories of this realm. However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seemed an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I've heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised how much of the story's heart remained the same. By Redford Elwing. Okay, hang on. That's actually it. That is a new name. That is a new name to me. Redford Elwing. And I'm going to write a new section in my notes for this book. Redford. It might be Ewing, or maybe it's Ewing. Okay. Yet, the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive version of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Blackbridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt most authentic, the story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. I'm just taking a photo of these pages as I go. Part 1, The Berry Picker from Oris. Ooh. Anything involving the holly is very, very, very interesting. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst in a time when society was at its worst. And for each crime that fearful travellers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise, high road robbery. One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. Oh, terrible. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships would take an easy road out. An easy and well-travelled road, paved with temptations, leading out of the city and into the gentrylands, where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. A hidden cave, eh? It was here. I mean, could this even be the canyon that is right outside of this mansion? I reckon it very much could be. It was here that he met his surrogate family and saviors, that notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. Unholy, hey? You know, like the opposite of sacred. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while the others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worry of being chastised for tarrying upon his return. I need to make sure that I am checking all of these images. Just in case, nothing around the margins. All right, all good. I'm not really expecting anything on these sorts of pages. Okay. let's just look at this first while I've got it out. Poor Jasper. Okay. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way Jasper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jasper was patient, but even patience had its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. Surveying the patches in the new grove surprised even Jasper. The red dots suspended among the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jasper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jasper set off to fill his basket and was making steady strides in this task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. Okay, I was just looking back to see if there were any sort of location hints about where this could be. A carriage is approaching. The thought of it made Jasper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept towards the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment more before the sound's source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jasper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around a corner of trees, led by 2 beautiful white horses and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jasper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without ever having witnessed such a sight before, Jasper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jasper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effect that the noble steed slid to a sudden halt with precise control. So this could even be, this could be our family, essentially. This could be, I suppose they're royal. I don't know. "You, boy, get out from behind that bush," he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. "You startled me half to death coming round the bend of my own drive, and me seeing such an unfamiliar, driveway. Me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not to be any face." Jasper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behaviour, not dashing through the bramble and mud. I was picking berries." Jasper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanour of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jasper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expression on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicions that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, for even the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile. "Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy." Jasper took his cue to finally step forward out from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. "I know, and what luck I found them. I have only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me 4-fold the time back home to procure this number." The driver bent down for a closer look. "And where is your home, boy? Is it quite far?" This is quite a tale. Jasper replied with a scripted response. "I live south of Tanner Fork. Tanner Fork is on the Reddington map. Just past the burnt woods. My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all that way only this morning." It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jasper had travelled. Yeah. I think that this could be telling us that this place is where we are now, that this canyon outside the mansion is Blackbridge Canyon, maybe. I don't know. And while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Blackbridge Canyon, because he's 3 hours away from Blackbridge Canyon, yeah, he could see why it might seem less believable here. Sir, I have travelled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by man that would not be a worth undertaking for a prize such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself. Jesper felt happier with this response, as it seemed to amplify the man's smile. In my youth often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I have never had to travel very far. And even then my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I am ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward. It was Jesper's time to smile. Then let my efforts reward us both today. He raised the basket even higher. A taste in memory of your youth, sir. Man, I'm worried about what these berries are going to do to them both. All right. The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket, and at the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes. And for that taste, I will have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth. Ooh, Jesper. Sassy. The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the man's pockets. Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause, though I will admit the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me. Unable to find a purse in the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search the seat under him. Why have you no purse upon your person? The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing towards the carriage door behind him. Jesper lowered the knife edge a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did in turn softly. There's a lockbox in the carriage. Well, come down then and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands, a concession I assure you of my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat. The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the... God, where is this going? Himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. Okay, let me take a photo of this from my massive collection of photos so that I can puzzle over all of this in turn. Okay. Excusing his inexperience, the man indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jesper had seen on the man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes displaying no emotion. I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me? Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it, secured the final bindings, and then hastily returned to the carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man. If there is no lockbox, there will be no clemency. Inside the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished golden facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed passage in this vehicle. That's strange. This all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant in the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's back seat. A large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. God, where is this going? Like, is there going to be somebody hidden in the lockbox? Are the berries poisonous? Is this guy a ghost? Like, what's happening? Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it out into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, 2 observations were made. Totemic symbols found carved on all 4 sides of the box hinted that the box was very old and likely not created by Arindian hands. It reminded him of artifacts from the old world and was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Oh my God. What? This is immediately giving Indiana Jones, vibes. Oh God, what's gonna happen? What's in this thing? Second, I want to look at this straight away. Huh. Interesting. I'm just wondering, like, what we take from this visual here. It kind of looks like it says Vic. V-I-C. That kind of looks like a hand or something. I don't know, but I don't recognize any of the realm sigils or anything. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock and would not open easily without a key. Jesper looked over to see the driver quietly observing from his indentured position. Do you perhaps have a key you can provide me to open this box? Without emotion, the driver replied, there is no key to that box. Jesper stood up. Easy enough then. He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimensions and lifted the stone up, carrying it back to the box. If there was ever a time when that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had once again returned. Oh my God. Of course, because it's the curse of Blackbridge, isn't it? You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed. Oh my God. Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face. What is it? That's one. Feeling his disappointment rising to anger now, Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy. One what, you mumbling agentor? I don't know what an agentor is. And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person? The man did not seem intimidated. 1 pace. 1 pace. He paused for effect. 12 more and you will be dead. Huh. He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. If there was ever a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Poetic. Jesper looked down at the sculpted stone figure, now splattered red. Was it cursed? If it was cursed, it's now extra cursed, dude. Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of That's why the man travels in the... That's why the man travels in the cart, because he was cursed himself. And he couldn't step, he couldn't pace, he couldn't take steps. Interesting. Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of curses and had never doubted their validity in the past. But now that he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, his mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would the knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could live maybe another 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries. A plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would that do? To be discovered here... I've already seen the picture with somebody lying on the ground. Assume it's the guy who's just been killed. Beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries and raving about a curse that could very well not be real. No, it would most certainly be better to face one's fate now, take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. But Jesper found his legs unable to make that first step. His mind was unable to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling the desperation sink in, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution. And if by some stroke of luck, Stroke of luck, the gods had heard his plea. A miracle materialized before him, as if he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. Possibly because he's at the end of a local legend. 2 white horses and a carriage of golden trim were behind him to answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4. Perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything else he wished to grab before taking the plunge. Oh my God. Huh. Dude's got a sword. Oh, look at his beard. Huh. It looks kind of black and curly. I was thinking maybe it could be our what's his name? Like the Major Key the Fourth with his awesome beard, but it doesn't really look the same. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be of some value, but the additional risk of undertaking such a task too great to chance. And so after a profound breath, he took his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th steps. I know how it is, dude. I know how this is. I know how this feels, having limited steps and much to achieve and much unknown in front of you, though they were quite large. Seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized that he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox whose typical function oft secures objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand to let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with that statement said aloud, to the horses seemingly, Jesper took up the reins with confidence. Part 2. Guys, I hope you've been enjoying this cursed story time, and we'll continue with part 2 in the next episode. So, I'm going to have to end this episode here, but look forward to the next one. We're going to not just finish this book, but do a whole bunch more stuff, more exciting blueprint stuff and secrets. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you then.